Okay, this is a quick video on how to set up a Google form. I'm going to show you two ways. The first way is through the actual Google Form app. You can access that through the Waffle. And then I'm going to show you how to do the same thing but through the Google Classroom app. So two things, same way. And if you have any questions, send me an email. We can meet on a Google Meet and I can walk you through it. And I'll also show you that issue about copying. If you're going to share this form with someone else, how to make your own copy to make sure that you guys don't cross data. So to access Google Forms, click on the Waffle, go down to the Forms app, and this is the screen you will see. You can start from a blank form, you can make a quiz, and you can choose from one of the existing templates. If you click on Template Gallery, you can see what the district has put in. You can also go to General, and you can see the various types of forms that you can use. And it's pretty neat, you can modify those. Now we're going to start from a blank template. And the first thing you want to do is to give it a title. So we're going to call this attendance. And you can add a description. We'll put daily attendance. Again, you can be as detailed or as simple as you want. This is your form. And we're going to go to the first question that we're going to have on the form. And we can choose drop down, or you can choose multiple choice. For this form, what we're going to do is we're going to do a short answer. We want the name, and we're going to make it a requirement. That way they cannot skip through or skip ahead, so they're going to have to put in their name. We also want to keep track of their ID number. So again, this is going to be a short answer. And we're also going to add a place for the email. Now don't forget to make sure that it's a requirement. We want the student to fill out all of these questions before they move on to the next question. I'm going to put in for the date, not the email. The email will automatically be recorded for them. And we're going to create. Now we can also create a spreadsheet so that you can keep track of all the data that's put in. And you can see that the spreadsheet, all you have to do is name it. Everything else populates from the form. So you can see that on the columns we already have headings for student name, ID number, etc. And it comes with a timestamp. Now when we go to settings, you can choose, you can limit them to one response, so they can only fill it out once. They can't send multiple responses in one day. This is helpful so you don't have a kid, signing in 10 times in one period. So limit them to one response. You do have the option to collect emails. You don't have to. Now, because of the way our Google Suite is set up within the district, this form can only be used when the student is logged on to their Google Suite that they got from the district. If they're using their personal Gmail, they will not be able to see this form, and they probably won't be able to log into Google Classroom using their personal account. They have to use the school account. And you have the option of leaving a message for them after they finish the form. So thank you for being here. And we put that in. We can review our questions one more time, and then we can go to the preview, and this is what the students will see. Now again, there is more options to dress it up a little bit. You can change the colors, you can change the heading, and I'm going to go ahead and fill out the form so you can see how it populates to the spreadsheet. So this is what the student would see. They would click submit, and there's their message. And when we go to the Google Sheet, we can see that the information has already been sent. So that is how to set it up on the Google Forms app. Now jumping over to the Classroom app, I'm going to choose my sample class. This is what I've been working on as a way to test out a lot of these features. So if you're unfamiliar, create a sample class and play around with the different features that Google Classroom has. We're going to go to classwork. We're going to create a new assignment, and this will be a daily assignment. The first time you log in, you do get all of these help boxes that show up, and they're helpful. You can spend some time going through all those. So we're going to title this attendance, and the instructions are please sign in using the attached form. And here's where we have some options. We can use create, and we can go to forms, and it's the exact same process that I just showed you, but it's creating the form through the Classroom. So you don't have to go to the Forms application. You can do it within Google Classroom, or you can add it from the Drive. So we're going to actually look for the one that we created right now, and we're going to input that one. So there is my attendance form. I'm going to attach, and so I have two here. I'm going to get rid of the one that we created within the Google Classroom and use the one that I created earlier in the video. And that's it. Now you have options on the side, whether to give this a grade, and then the last thing you want to do is just click assign, the blue button on the top right corner, and your attendance sheet should be visible in your class stream and in your Google Classroom. So I forgot to show you how to add the period into your form. Now we're taking track of attendance. It'll be helpful to have the period so that the student can select their class period. And again, this happens sometimes. You forget how to do something, or you forget to add something. The Google Suite allows you to go back and recreate without having to stop your work and delete it and then start a brand new one. All you have to do is find the form, open it up, and make the modification. So let's see how to do that. Go back and you can add modifications to the form. You can change it. So I forgot to add period. So I'm going to add a section or a question for the period. Now again, you have options. You can do a checkbox, so the students will see the checkbox. You can put your class periods, and then they can go in and manually check off the boxes. I'm going to use the drop-down menu. I think it's interesting. It's another way to interact. It's a pretty cool user interface. I'm going to make it a requirement, and I'm going to publish it. Now you're going to see something interesting. I've already responded to this. Now remember, we set it so that only one response per email per day or per student. So I'm going to take that off right now so that I can check it to make sure that it's functioning correctly. And here I see I can fill out the form again. Now there's my drop-down menu, and it's as simple as that. If you have any questions, send me an email. I'll be happy to help you. So again, that was a quick tutorial. There's so much more you can do with forms. If you want a more in-depth tutorial, let me know, send me an email. I'm gonna put my email at the bottom, and I'd love to help in any way I can. If you have any questions on the Google Suite or anything regarding remote learning, please send me an email and we'll see what we can do.